The afterlife, also known as life after death or the world to come, is a pretended existence in which a person's essential identity or stream of consciousness continues to exist after the death of their physical body. The soul or spirit of an individual which carries with it and may confer personal identity, or on the other hand, nirvana, is the essential aspect of the individual that lives on after death, according to various afterlife theories. The idea that there is no life after death contrasts with the belief that there is. According to some beliefs, this continued existence occurs in a spiritual realm, while according to other widely held beliefs, the person may be reborn into this world and start their life cycle over again, most likely with no memory of their previous deeds. According to the latter theory, such rebirths and deaths may occur repeatedly until the person enters a spiritual realm or other world. Major perspectives on the afterlife come from esotericism, metaphysics, and religion. Some belief systems, such as those in the Abrahamic tradition, hold that the dead go to a specific place after death, as determined by God or other divine judgment, based on their actions or beliefs during life. In contrast, the nature of the continued existence is directly influenced by the person's actions in the previous life, in reincarnation systems like those found in Indian religions. Different metaphysical models. Theists typically think that when someone passes away, there is an afterlife. A belief in an afterlife without any mention of a deity is common among adherents of some generally non-theistic religions. An ancient Jewish sect, known as the Sadducees, held the general viewpoint that there was a god, but that there was no life after death. Many religions, whether they believe in reincarnation like many forms of Hinduism and Buddhism, or in the existence of the soul in another world like Christianity, Islam, and many pagan belief systems, think that one's position in the afterlife is determined by how they live their lives on earth. Reincarnation. The philosophical or religious idea of reincarnation holds that after each death, a part of a living thing becomes a new life in a different physical body or form. The Sasra/Karma doctrine of cyclic existence includes the idea of rebirth, also known as transmigration. Samsara describes the cycle in which souls, jivas, experience a succession of human and animal forms. Each life assists the soul, jivas, in learning until the soul is purified to the point of enlightenment. According to traditional Hinduism and Buddhism, unity with the cosmos. It is a foundational principle shared by all four major Indian religions: Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Many ancient cultures held the concept of rebirth or metempsychosis, and historical Greek figures like Pythagoras and Plato shared this viewpoint. Additionally, it is a core tenet of many traditional and contemporary religions, including Spiritism, Theosophy, and Eckankar, in numerous tribal societies around the world, including those in Australia, East Asia, Siberia, and South America. It is also present. Before the silver cord is severed and before one enters the afterlife's planes of existence, Rosicrucians describe a life review period that takes place right after death. This is followed by a judgment that is more like a final review or end report over one's life. Heaven and hell, a common religious, cosmological, or transcendent location where beings such as gods, angels, jinn, saints, or revered ancestors are said to originate, be enthroned, or reside, is known as heaven, the heavens, seven heavens, pure lands, Tien, Jannah, Valhalla, or the Summerland. Some religions hold that heavenly beings can come to earth or take on human form, and that people from this world can either ascend to heaven in the afterlife, or in very rare circumstances, enter heaven while they are still alive. In contrast to hell, the underworld, or the low places, heaven is frequently described as a higher place, the holiest location, or a paradise that is universally or conditionally accessible to human beings depending on their level of divinity, goodness, piety, faith, or other virtues, or simply according to God's will. Some people think that there might be a heaven on earth in the next world. Heaven is known as Svarga Loka in Hinduism. After death, the soul can travel to 7 positive regions and 7 negative regions. In many religious and folkloric traditions, hell is a place of torment and punishment in the afterlife, while religions with a cyclical divine history frequently portray hell as a transitional stage between incarnations. Religions with a linear divine history frequently depict hell as an eternal destination. These traditions frequently feature entrances to hell from the realm of the living and typically place hell in another dimension or beneath the earth's surface. Purgatory and limbo are 2 other afterlife locations. Traditions that do not view the afterlife as a place of punishment or reward merely refer to hell as the grave, the home of the dead, or a neutral location such as Sheol or Hades beneath the earth's surface. But what does science have to say in this? Cognitive predisposition, cultural learning, and as an intuitive religious concept are some psychological hypotheses for the origin of the belief in an afterlife. Children were able to understand that physical, mental, and perceptual activity ended with death in one study, but they struggled to understand that will, self, and emotion also ended with death. The University of Southampton began a large-scale study in 2008 that included 2,060 patients from 15 hospitals in the UK, the US, and Austria. Researchers also used objective markers in a large study to test the veracity of conscious experiences in order to determine whether or not claims of awareness compatible with out-of-body experiences correspond with real or hallucinatory events. The findings showed that 40% of people who survived a cardiac arrest were conscious between the time they were clinically dead and before their hearts were restarted. One patient also had a confirmed out-of-body experience, but his cardiac arrest happened in a room without any markers. Over 80% of patients did not survive their cardiac arrest or were too ill to be interviewed. According to Dr. Parnia in the interview, the evidence thus far suggests that in the first few minutes after death, consciousness is not annihilated. So that's the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss out on our next videos. Until the next video, take care.